green.
We'll have to see. We're checking it out. We're checking it out. I think we're up. And there we go. Okay, are we set? There we go. There we go. I think so. I think we're rocking. I think we are. Hello, everybody. Are we set? Kind of looked like it was doing something, but I think you are up. Video 5x5. There's the elf, the chickens, Larry D, and somebody was just watching Ben-Hur. So was I. I was getting ready to take a nap, and I started scrolling through, and I saw Ben-Hur, and I went, oh, shit. And I clicked it on just at the sea battle scene, which is row well and live. So, yeah, that's a great movie. And no Nick. I get that all the time. I post up something and say no Nick on it. So
I don't know what that is, but somebody else wrote it. I guess when you guys do it every once in a while, it does it too. I don't know why, but I'll post a thing up there and it's posting from no Nick. Maybe we should ask our internet guru Terry what the hell that is.
He's on here.
Is he on here tonight? Hi, Terry. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter, everybody. Yep, happy Easter. So,
show everybody your pretty shirt.
Oh yeah, I get my. If my Bert and Ernie wasn't enough, I got to be careful what I say on here because I received this shirt in the mail. And, if you can.
Johnny likes skinny girls, but he never turns down a fatty.
I love the graphics. I love the little old school kids that you see in those old books. Burning a fatty. Whoever comes up with stuff like that.
Shh, Cody, she's just dreaming. That Zena having a terrible dream. She's asleep.
She's chasing something out there. Peacock or a duck. Okay, he's going nutty. Come on, get up here, buddy. It's your Easter too.
We are tired.
Really?
I tell you what, those grandkids, I love them to death. Oh, I love them. But it really makes you feel old after you've run around with 2 kids for 4 or 5 days. That little girl of mine, she doesn't know how to wrap her little legs around you and sort of help, with the weight. She's just dead weight in your arms, but she smiles from the time she gets up till she goes to bed. She's a blessing, but we're tired.
We are. All right, that's enough love for a minute. We got work to do here, buddy. Go on down there. That's how you eat. So, yeah, saw the turkey video. Wow. That came up they weren't even supposed to be up here. They do something for their own Easter egg hunt, which got canceled at the church or some shit. And that bomb got dropped on us by her daughter. And I went, oh, hell. That's the youth turkey hunt. I said, I'm taking that boy turkey hunting. And
I wasn't being negative, but I just said, Don, he's 3. Now, how long do you think that 3-year-old's going to be quiet and sit in a blind? So Don took out the iPad and kept him entertained, and he did pretty good. But he said it was a rough start when he got him up early that morning and took him out. It was cold, and Remington was already complaining about, ooh, it's cold. But I think once he got in the big blind, it's one of the largest ones that we've ever had down here, and so that was just like playing in a fort to him. So I think he liked it. He was tickled to death.
We rehearsed it. I had Elf's trail cameras, other ones up. I knew when the birds were moving, and there were a lot of them, and I was just hopeful. And but we did rehearse it. We shot the target with those turkey heads on it. Patterned those guns. I even switched guns out a few times, but got him in. There's a little ear pro on. We were worried the gun was going to get him, but my daughter said he is never going to sit still for that. Good luck. And then Diane was like, you just call me. I'll come down and get him. And he did. He walked right outside that door with that big parka on, that that morning, the first thing he said is, "I'm cold." And he started raising hell about being cold. And I went, "Oh my God, we're done before we start." And I said, just go down. Come on, we'll just go down. Try it. But I wasn't going to force him. And thankfully, he had he could play games on a cell phone and an iPad. If he got bored, we had more candy, cheese. I'm surprised we didn't have a popcorn machine and a twirly candy thing.
Cotton candy.
Anything to keep him entertained. I knew I needed an hour. And sure enough, we had gobblers all around us. 6 of them that I counted that were all interested. And they kept getting closer. And they'd move around, circling around us. And he wasn't paying a bit of attention to that. It didn't make sense. It doesn't click. It's like taking a kid with a fishing pole the first time. I mean, he doesn't know what's about to happen. I mean, it's not making any kind of sense until something gets it and you pull it up on the bank and he can see it. When I grabbed him and pulled him over, like we had rehearsed, and put him between my legs, I had to take him by the head and turn it. He looked over and saw that turkey on that road coming up to us, and that's when the light bulb switched on. But he, if you saw, Elf had sent a nice box call, and I got some good. You got to project that sound out. So I was hitting the box call, and then, Pops, Sergeant Pops sent me that beautiful wingbone turkey call, so I could project it out. But when they got in close, when that clown was getting in close, that's right when the sneezing started. So he's had a runny nose. Oh, there's so much pollen around, and I was like, my God, I could see that turkey, but couldn't point it out to him. So. Yeah, well, yeah.
My daughter texted me and she said, no, she didn't text. She called and she said, "Dad just sent me a picture. Did you see the picture?" And I said, "What picture?" And she said, "He got one. Oh my God." I'm running down my long driveway in a big white robe with big fuzzy slippers in my pajamas, and my daughter's running from the barn with my baby granddaughter in a blanket wrapped up. And we bought him a dinosaur four-wheeler for Easter. We surprised him. And here he comes in front of his Pap. Pap was in the golf cart. He comes running up, and he got pretty close to me, and he jumped off of that thing and came and wrapped his arms around my neck. He was tickled to death. Yes, and they've gone home. I was concerned about doing the live stream tonight. We're supposed to be getting hurricanes and tornadoes and terrible winds, and they are as well in North Carolina, Virginia Beach, and Chesapeake. So Fallon wanted to get home and make sure everything was bolted down. So they've gone, but we had a good time, and we just celebrated Easter a day early, so it worked out fine.
There you go. What was somebody else asking about? Oh, an Army Special Forces guy, ex-Army Special Forces guy, got after me today. He's been watching all the videos and has for years. It's my earliest days on YouTube, and he reached out. He just has purchased 2 gun companies, and he manufactures these magnificent guns. And one of them is the sniper rifle that Rob Furlong, the Canadian, made the longest sniper shot with. I think it was a 408 at over 4,000 yards. And he said he wants to make me a custom rifle. And I went,
okay.
okay. So I was just talking to him on the phone. He's a great guy. So what we're doing is Remington's bedroom, because right there at the big glass window, that doesn't open, but Remington's bedroom window opens. So I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to get back, and we're going to set up this bench, and I'll be able to pop deer out of there without making a lot of noise. The barn will absorb the sound, and I can really reach out there with that thing. The light bulb just clicked. I've got some really nice long-range guns. and now I'm gonna use them.
So now we're all excited for hunting season for the deer. I mean the duck season and goose season. So today, Yaya, which is me, I sent him a little hunting suit, a little camouflage pants and a jacket, and then I had to get my baby granddaughter one because you can't leave her out. So we're all having fun. Oh, did it pass you guys? Good. 70-mile-an-hour gust. Yeah, I was getting worried, Lily. Dawn actually just went down. It wasn't terrible winds, but we went out yesterday and all of my patio furniture was blowed all over the yard and turned upside down. So Dawn has turned all of that stuff upside down and hopefully secured it so that it doesn't go in my new pool liner. But I'm glad that it didn't hit you guys as bad as it was supposed to.
Look at Chickens is getting his buddy to get something here. This is crazy. It's a competition now.
Yay!
I'm down with that. So, yeah. And he's getting mine in the 308. He had these 367, 408. It's just a skip down from a 50 cal, and I was like, oh my God. But,
well, he said to Dawn, he said, I'd be happy to wrap it in anything you want. You know, I can put any kind of emblems or anything you want. And Dawn said, you know, I don't know. Why don't you just surprise me? And he said, well, how about the special forces thing? So was he talking about the Trident? And Dawn was like, oh.
Special Army Special Forces. I was like, dude, don't put that on it, please. No offense. Somebody's going to call me out for being a phone. That thing. But, yeah.
Oh, Blairsy, you're getting snow on Easter. Damn. I'd rather have rain than snow too. But actually, I was on Facebook a day before yesterday, and you know how memories pop up. And we had snow last year. I think it was last year, or year before last, the day before Easter. We got snow here on the Eastern Shore too.
Yeah. 3 generations, Donko. I don't know. We'll see. It's only 3 right now. And,
so everybody writes me all the time and asks me about my mom. Well, my mom called me yesterday and about 7 o'clock at night, and she told me that she was at the dentist office getting her teeth fixed, and what?
I was just making conversation with Chickens.
Oh.
Pula.
And then there are some older residents in that place that live there that smoke. And so they get to go and smoke twice a day. So I could hear the nurse in the background. She stuck her head in my mom's room and said, anybody want to smoke? And my mother said, oh, I got to go, Diane. It's time to smoke. And I said, Mama, do you smoke now? My mother hates cigarette smoke. And she said, hell yeah, I do. There's nothing else to do. And I said, well, I don't blame you. Go smoke them up. At 87, she's decided she's going to smoke. What will it hurt? And I agree. Go smoke if that's what
my mother said. She was...
His mother told me, she said, if I had to do it all over again, I would smoke cigars and I would drink whiskey. That's what she said.
So now that your dad's gone, I'm going to start smoking cigarettes and drinking
whiskey.
Yeah,
that's what she said.
There we go. Well, that's the fatties. 338 Win Mag. Oh, was that a question? I didn't know that was a question. I know of probably the earliest father-son seal combinations. He was one of my buds instructors, Tullis. His father was a early seal. And we have one seal with 2 sons, or one father with 2 sons that are seals. And I don't know any more than that.
But we're not doing too bad in the family. We're not doing too bad on the seal team.
Racking them up, man. So with that and the virus, there's nothing going on. Nothing with those guys. They're not shooting anyone. They're not worth shooting them. And it's tough looking to get them home. The whole military bit, locking them down, not leaving the compound. It's just, it can't affect the military. It's really bad. And there's all kinds of shit coming out about them doggone Chinese. It's just kind of funny how Wuhan got it, but Beijing and Shanghai didn't get it. but it's all over this country. We're the worst out there right now. Just kind of strange how that happens. But when you knock down our military, I ain't even going there. Everybody needs to stay safe, but I don't think that when Trump is talking about putting people back to work early, it's probably for a damn good reason. He knows some shit is going on out there. And if you look at what the Chinese are doing now, they're open for business. They're selling us all their shit, all our masks, all their respirators, all their ventilators, all that other stuff. They are making bank over this for something they started in the first place. And I really think they damn well started it for that reason. But we are so vulnerable right now. And I think they all know something that we don't know, and that's why he's trying to get this country back going again. So,
I do too.
yeah, there's some shit going on. I think it was deliberate, but whatever. Everybody brace for shock, and as long as you're not going to church in Kentucky right now, we are set. Anybody that would do that is the most, I mean, even the Pope has stopped all Catholic, the Pope. But there's a couple of holdouts out there in Texas, Kentucky, and a few other states that are just packing them into those houses because God's going to take care of you. Well, I've done a lot of shit in my life, and I can tell you, I prayed all the way to the ground in free fall, and God is not going to pull my ripcord for me. It ain't going to happen. I'm going to get off of that roll right there. You guys just stay safe and brace for shock. It ain't over yet. But,
yeah, Lily, I know it's funny, but me and Greg miss each other. Greg and Dawn are best friends, but me and Greg don't even care if Dawn's around 90% of the time. Me and Greg are very close. He's like my brother, and we sit, Dawn calls it, what do you call it, the Oprah Winfrey Show or some shit when we get together?
no, Oprah's on.
But
Girl
Greg
talk.
and I miss each other a lot, and I'm over it. I've done minimal complaining, but I'm really over it. I'm over being able to walk in a grocery store and look at my fresh vegetables and stuff and what I want, and I'm getting really worried about the charity because now they're already extending this quarantine and stuff up through June, and so not just the people of the charity that come down, the wounded families, but my family, my sister and brother-in-law and the boys, they come down every year. They spend a week or a week and a half with us. I don't think they're going to be able to come this time. The boys are certainly not going to get on flights and fly down here. And
they're making beans every day at that Bush factory.
They're
They're
working.
not coming down here.
No, Gavin, the oldest one, is in a big supervisor position at Bush's Beans, and he's working 12 and 14-hour days and has been every day, sometimes 7 days a week. They got off Friday because it was Good Friday and they didn't have to work, but they've been working 12 and 14-hour days. It's killing them. They're even hiring extra people. And so obviously they cannot wear masks and gloves doing everything. He said they're being very, very careful, all kinds of cleaning and disinfecting wipes and stuff, but you can't work in those hot ass plants with all that on. So I'm just afraid of what my summer's going to do, and I think that so many people that we have come down have not been working with no paychecks, and the airlines are shut down. Don talked to his sister today. Her husband is a captain with I don't know which airline it is. He changed. It's not American. It's one of them. But he didn't even have any flights. Lisa said today that there's no flight, so he's not working. And I just think that it's going to affect us being able to get deserving people down here this year. So
I don't think so.
I don't
It's
know.
bad. We put, my daughter's husband is a smart guy. He keeps her right in check, and she can use all the help she can get. And he locked them straight down.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on phone in. They're not even going on to the bases and haven't been for a long time. And he locked them down, and I insisted on it. You are not coming up here and giving it to us or us giving it to you. So that's the way that worked. I want to be, and No, no. Even my mother's still on this little thing because somebody knocked on her door at that place she lives in, and they were handing out soup, and she took it, and I went, God, okay, 14 days. I wanted to get her down here for that, So that's what we do. Greg does his farming thing. We miss Rio, but Greg gets around a few people. His young son Caleb, and no, that shit's gonna kill us.
Well, we're a lot older than Greg.
It'll kill you. It won't kill me.
Shit, you'll die first.
I won't even get a sniffle.
But I don't know. I haven't even been in a grocery store. I know a lot of people do. They wear the mask, they wear the gloves and all that. But since all of this, I've not even been in a grocery store. But I'm getting ready to break down and wear a hood and gloves and mask and everything. I am absolutely losing it being in here. I like to do the cooking videos. I love to cook, and I don't have anything to cook. I don't have anything to cook and make a video with. I mean, I've got a bunch of canned shit. The last day my daughter was here, I'm embarrassed to say it, but we had baked beans and macaroni.
And duck.
And duck. Well, the duck was good, but other than that, I mean, we're down to like that kind of shit. So I might break down and go to the store one day this week and just bundle up good. I don't know. But I know some of you that live in New York and live in these big cities, I know that it sounds almost embarrassing for me even to mention this, but we have 4 cases of coronavirus right here in our little town, and some lady died yesterday. We've had our first fatality, and no, that just scares me. No, I'm not cooking no muskrat. He cooked that thing the other night on that grill, and I don't care what he says. It's the awfulest tasting shit you've ever tasted. It's terrible. Terrible. And it's ugly. It's those teeth.
We got lots of them. No, I haven't seen that seal to Night Stalker Team 3. I think I know who you're talking about, though. Yeah, we got plenty. We're better off than anybody. You guys are on that roll about that. I got a lot of respect. I'm not a religious guy. I mean, we don't go to church. But I got a lot of respect for that stuff. But when you take religion to that extreme, that you would sacrifice all the people in your community because you're fucking stupid. That's what my dad said. My dad used to get on a roll about the church he attends. They dance with snakes in their mouth. I just used to laugh every time. Like, how was church today? He was like, oh, plenty of good snakes. We had plenty of snakes today because there's people in this country that do that shit. Dance around with snake poison.
They do that in Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay. So you can't. They're just nuts, and it's terrible that they would sacrifice police, paramedics, firefighters, the whole community, because you want to. You got to. I'll tell you where it is. It's right there, buddy. It ain't nothing more than that. Fill that plate up. What a oh boy! Don't even get me started about those guys keeping those churches going like that. And I'm not a real fan of the governor of Florida right now because I think I hope I don't get it wrong, that he's not going to do anything to those churches. They have their right to pray.
Oh, they're doing it some places right here. You're right, in Kentucky. I saw that, Larry. I saw that. They are going there and they are finding people. They're taking down license plates. They're forcing them to quarantine, and they can arrest them, I think, can't they?
No, they're taking a license. Kentucky's on it. They got a bunch of loose cannons in Kentucky in those churches, and then the cops are just taking down your license plates and go to quarantine you. So good for you. You want to go to church? Go ahead.
Kitty.
There's Kitty. Never mind. It kind of gets me. God, I want to get out of this thing so bad, and we're doing our part. I called the feed store up here to ask them a question about the rice. I'm planning on planting some rice. I had to ask him a question. He goes, how's everything going up here? And he goes, you wouldn't believe how many stupid people are at this store. He goes, they're not paying a bit of attention to any of it. He goes, it's really good for business, but he goes, it's shocking that just come in and waltz around like flipping nothing's happened. So we were a little wrong. We had 4 cases And the next day we had 8.
That's right. That's
And
right.
then the next, I don't even know what it's up to now, but it doubled every day. Yeah, there's that.
I'm just afraid it's gonna. I'm just afraid it's really gonna linger for a whole lot longer. And
We don't like that.
you all know that I respect Trump and I like Trump and I know that he is wanting to get this economy back up and moving. I know that. I'm just afraid that people will be stupid. I think that a lot of people are locked down and doing what they're supposed to be doing right now. And I just have seen people do this, for instance, after 9/11. You know, 9/11, everybody was flag waving and card carrying and all that. And it didn't take this country very long after 9/11 for people to just start forgetting. You know, for people to go back to their own way of putting their guard down. And I'm just afraid that once the bans are lifted, I'm afraid that some people will just think, well, okay, the ban's lifted now, we can go right back to doing whatever we were doing before. And I just don't think that's going to be the case. Maybe ever, but certainly not immediately. I think that we're still going to have to just do it because we're smart. We're trying to protect ourselves. That's my only concern about that.
The chicken says it right there. Trump likes steak on shit. Well, you know what? I think Trump ain't saying everything he knows. I will tell you that. I can read that shit all over his face, and I can read the reports, that people are coming out of China, and their doctors are disappearing over there. University journalists are disappearing over there. All this stuff, and you can see the ramping up China is doing for their economy while we stagnate here and we lose, and it's not good. And he wants to get people back to work so we don't get flipping attacked. I'll just put it to you that way, that we don't get all start speaking Chinese here.
Yeah, but I think that's a big one.
And he
I
is
do.
begging people and all these governors, stop what you're doing. Let's get over this as fast as we can and get this country back up before we all start eating with chopsticks.
Yeah.
So why didn't everybody do their part, and let's let this thing go? But it's strange. It's strange when you look at the countries that are affected by this. How many of our allies are, and they don't see shit much out of Russia and North Korea. And China's on the mend, man. They're going, and none of their big cities got hit. It's really kind of crazy. And this thing is now killing people in the Amazon.
Yeah, I saw that on
The
the
indigenous
news.
people in the rainforest. It's like the American Indian and the Eskimos that we took these plagues to. And it's just bad all the way around. We are on our knees right now, basically. This country is really on our knees with this and the whole military thing. And we got to be careful, because when you get weak, is exactly when somebody's going to walk up and punch you and take what you got.
Yeah.
So let's all try to. I think I'm going to start driving around with a bullhorn and chastising people.
Well, we try to get on here and talk about light things and fun things or phonies or something like that, but this is probably the biggest thing that I've seen in my lifetime that has just affected worldwide. I think it is, and I don't know about the China thing, but I saw. I think it was done intentionally too. I definitely think it was done intentionally, but. And the thing is, our only outlet is the damn media, and we all know how that is. You don't know if most of that shit's bullshit or not, but they were saying that China was on the mend. That everybody was getting better. It was getting better. Less and less cases, less and less deaths. And so I think they relaxed things a little bit. And then yesterday on the news, they were talking about they were going through the second round now. That it was coming back, a second round of this stuff. And Lord have mercy. Wouldn't that be awful for us to just just get back to a semi-normal state here in the United States, and then this shit hit us from behind again, it would probably be worse the second go around. I don't know.
Well, we'll get off of it. We don't want to start spreading that stuff. It's just stay vigilant. It's just upsetting. Some people aren't paying attention to this stuff. This stuff could go away pretty doggone quickly if everybody pitched in. We're trying to do our part up here.
Well, when my daughter was down here, fortunately for us, we're old people. It's just us and the dogs and the cats down here. So I do a little bit of complaining about just needing to get out of here. But I mean, I can get in the car and go for a ride. But young mothers like my daughter that was here, her little family, they're just involved in so many things. And if it's a bad rainy day, she can put them in the car and go to the mall even and walk around the mall for exercise and look at stuff just to entertain them. They go to the park and they do all that stuff. There's nowhere for them to go. And my daughter lives in a beautiful house, but it's a small house. I mean, it's in a neighborhood. So the children can't play with the neighborhood children, and it is hard. I think it's harder on them and on the elderly. My heart breaks for my mother that my sister and her friends can't go and visit at least once a week, to give her some kind of touch and all of that. I feel terrible. And it seems to me like my mother might be slipping a little bit because of not having the interaction, with people on the outside. So that's all.
Well, you can't get a haircut. Life as we know it has changed. God help somebody that has a toothache. How painful that shit is. Chest pain, breathing difficulty, broken bone. I mean, it's all, and that really hit me hard with, God, we tried to get that guy down here.
Yeah, I know.
It's just the impact of others and the selfishness that's going on for some of this. And
I face evil. I can FaceTime with my family, my immediate family, and my friends, but they got some iPads or something at the nursing home, but they haven't figured those out yet. They only work with like one kind of phone, and to be honest, I don't think the staff quite get it. They are way in the country down there in Tennessee. They don't have the best service, and they've not been able to figure out. Of course, my mother doesn't know how to do that, so somebody would have to set it up. But I hope soon. At least if we could see each other's face, it might help.
I was just looking at your hand, how scratched up they are.
I am beat up. I'm black and blue from that puppy.
I watched a video of me a couple of days. I don't know what I was doing on here, and I was looking at my arm, and I was like, "My God, it looks like I got scabies or something." And that's that little biting ass dog, and she's rocking, man. She fits in here like a glove. She does her own thing. When I let her out, she has her little haunt over here in kind of the swamp area that she goes off by herself and just goes and prowls around in there and comes out.
That's the only thing that's bothering me. She's getting braver and braver every day.
She fell in the pond over here today and got herself out, but she's... Who's that up there?
That's her. Don't have anything she can chew, can you?
No.
But she loves laying underneath our computer chairs, and I ran her foot over. She squalled like I'd shot her with a gun today. But she's wonderful. We just love her. She's wonderful. She's just getting so big.
She's big. Come on, girl.
She's too lazy to get up. She just had her supper.
She ate. She's been eating good around here, I can tell you that. Come on, pretty girl. Oh, she's dropped her head on my foot. She's not going anywhere.
Well, I think we're going to be ordering some new GoPros or something here because my daughter, we don't know anything about apps and all that stuff on our phone, so my daughter came down here and I was like, I don't have any phone service. I can't call anybody. I've missed so many phone calls I can't hear on my phone, and I think it's people on the website too that have been calling. And she said, well, Mama, when's the last time you've upgraded or updated? I said, I didn't know you had to update. So she was trying to clear shit off. She said it took her 20 minutes to clear shit off of my phone. And she updated me, so at least now I can hear a little bit. But she put an app on Don's phone where he could actually control the GoPros, you know, when it was inside the blind. So
I never saw such a thing.
well, no, we never heard. We're just not
Even my
like that.
oldest, shittiest GoPro.
Worked.
That's how some of that footage was shot, by turning on that. I went out with 3 GoPros.
He lost
I
one.
lost one en route. Don't ask me how I lose one from here down the driveway. And the other one was dead. I went to such lengths to charge all those, and I was down to 1. And but it was able to click. I couldn't believe that. So I can turn them on, turn them off. I can do all that. It's going to take a little practice, but
I don't know if you're talking about the Osmo Action Cam. I don't know if that's the one you're talking. Terry has one, and Terry knows us. And he's got that thing that moved, you know, with him so that you're not missing anything. It doesn't do that. And Terry and I had a long talk about it, and he finally said, Diane, with you and Don being you and Don, you might want to stick with a regular GoPro. Because if it's any kind of technology, we'll never figure it out.
Here, Terry's coming up. You better quarantine down there. Bring your woman up here. We'll be okay.
Oh, as much booze as Terry drinks, I doubt if anything could live in him very long.
You got to give us a 14-day rundown of what you've been doing for those 14 days. But yeah, you can come up here and help me with that. I don't know how I pulled that one off without you, but we did somehow. So,
Yeah, but did you see, I don't want to get back on the coronavirus, but did you see the thing about San Francisco? They like basically have nothing down there. And that's such a huge place. But San Francisco is doing something right. Didn't you see that on the news?
Yeah, well, I mean, I did. I'm looking at the cat scratching. Everybody's on lockdown around here, I guess. That kitty wants out, some kind of kitty.
I'll open the door.
Kitty. No, she's all right.
Well, she's gonna shit in the house.
No, she ain't. We're about full potty trained here. She goes to the door now and yelps. We haven't had any kind of accidents, and especially in number 2. She ain't done that since. She only did it once weeks ago. She's set. She's good to go. What's the test results? I record the NBC news every night. I got to hear what they said about that. It does not surprise me a bit, but hopefully they're going to get some kind of vaccine, because I can't deal with this. I did not get conceived to deal with this. My parents had high hopes for me, and sitting in the house like this and just watching the world go by. At least I have something to shoot, and I got plenty of shells to do it. So,
Donko, I think the same thing. I think when they figure out this thing, I think that it is going to be something probably simple. I think that they've already figured it out, sort of. And I think that it is going to end up something like the flu. I do. I think that it's going to be a very simple cure.
it's like Elf's got the plan. Oh my God, biggest prank. I had so many of them because I was the funniest SEAL in SEAL team. I was nonstop with the shit I would do up there, and because I had to be entertained constantly. But me and one of my buddies used to, after PT, guys would go take a shower, and then they would go up, and a lot of them brought bag lunches, their lunch buckets, and they would put it up in this our isolation facility in the refrigerator. So after PT, my buddy and me would go up there, and he would watch the doors. Everybody funneled into the shower, and I would rip into all those, all those lunches, and I would take a bite out of every apple I was sandwich as fast as I could, shoveling.
That ain't funny. That pissed me off.
Shoveling that stuff down, and we would get out of there. No one ever knew it was us. We were the Phantom Eaters, and we had everybody knows what a phantom shitter is on the ships. Every ship has a phantom shitter, some guy that just dumps somewhere. Fucking funny. And they would draw a picture every morning at Team 2. The XO and me would walk out, Chief Master at Arms when I went in a platoon, and we never knew who was doing it, but they would get right there where the XO would stand every morning, and one of those guys would lay down, and the other would take this big thing of chalk and draw this body outline, like the police killing, and write XO on it. And I used to write notes all the time to guys, chiefs, officers, and I would leave them on their desk when they weren't there, and I was like, they were really crafted, and it would go on to the guys that they're on to us. I need to talk to you right now. We need to get we need to get the story together, and we need to stick to the story. You need to contact me right fucking now, ASAP, right now. And then I wouldn't put my name on it or anything, and they would go in there to that desk and read that thing. Go, what's going on? Too funny, too funny. Just creating paranoia.
Elf said nothing funnier than sending a new recruit out to find a gallon of black and white striped paint.
Right.
So, Terry wants you to talk about a hand grenade down the pants. I don't know if I know that one.
Hand grenade down the pants stunt. I'm sure I've done that. The best one was they stuck a scorpion down my running shorts while I was shaving in the morning. And I just turned around and went, what was that? And like, it's a scorpion. And I ripped my pants off so fast, and it sure as shit was. It was a big black, the scorpions out in the desert in California were just these nasty black ones. And they had cut the stinger off it, but that son of a bitch was alive and well. And I took that into the guys whose rack I knew had done it, and I beat that thing into a pancake in his sleeping bag. Anyhow, here come all the other stories. Well, Diane's got some stories.
I don't have any stories.
For ivermectin, I used to give that to my dogs.
Mm-hmm.
I would give my retrievers that for heartworm treatment, and my brother-in-law still does it. Ivermectin, there's some. That's some pretty stout stuff to control heartworms and shit. We're going to get through this thing.
That's what you shoved in my leg.
And that was a 7-in-1 puppy treatment.
That he shot me with.
Just flew out of my hand.
Yeah.
We are going to get through this doggone thing here. And that's the only thing the Chinese got. They wouldn't directly attack us because they know they would not be able to stand up to the United States military, no matter how much our politicians out there try to. How would I say? I was about to.
Whoa.
Try to use us as a litmus test for sensitivity training. I don't know why they do that with us. You know what? When the shit hits the fan, you're going to want some rough boys to do your dirty work out there. You are not going to want to tie our hands and put us in your silly training courses. You're not. I don't even want to be offending anybody here, but if you're not doing it to the NFL, then you shouldn't be doing it to us. If you're not doing the same shit to the NFL, you damn well shouldn't be doing it to us. And it's just fucked up. I'm tired of hearing it. And when you mess around with the Chinese, I guarantee you, those son of a bitches do not go through homosexual sensitivity training. And they don't have rules of engagement. and you are just dumbing down the United States military and turning us into little flower children. And you're going to regret that shit.
Yep, when the shit hits the fan, I want a bunch of badasses.
Or AOC up there, as hot as she is, anybody that listens to that dribble and wants to live in that la-la land. Up there, those rose-colored glasses, you're right there in Demolition Man with Wesley Snipes and Stallone. It's a joy world. The fuck it is, man. And that's why I'm out here, and that's why I'm getting a new sniper rifle. And Chicken sends me one down here. By God, I'll take it and shoot every one of you.
Hey, Bosun.
China's mean.
Maybe I can ship him back over to Japan. Maybe you can work on him a little bit. He's starting to get on my nerves.
It's the old bosun. It ain't the same shit. And we're handing over brass over the side of the ship in Hong Kong to the old women down there selling tarps and shit and sending it up. The world's a-changing.
Okay, I was just about to ask John what does zinc do, and he said it boosts your immune system. I might have to get me some zinc and start taking it.
Well, I can't even get in to see the hematologist from this. I guess I got too much iron in my blood. I don't know what that's about to do to me, but they say orange juice has a lot of it, and I can't go. But I'm okay. Take me. I killed a turkey the other day with my grandson. I'm fine. Take me. So, yeah. Bosun, we were on the mend. That email I sent you, situation changed here halfway. So, we're good now. Kind of in that direction. Anyhow. Warrior. Oh. I don't know what an 8-week-old, 9-week-old puppy could be dreaming about. But it's a good one.
I don't understand chickens. Who wants to have a prostate the size of a baseball? Is that something that y'all long for? A big old prostate?
No, we don't want one of those.
Well, that's what he says. Everybody wants one. I've not even had one glass of wine yet. I'm just as giddy as I can be.
Do we want to get her up?
Yes.
Come on, Zena. Come on, you gotta wake up. Come on, girl. Come on, Zena. Oh, girl. Oh. I'm pulling her out by her hind legs.
Those grandkids run her ragged, and she would lay on her little dog bed right in the middle of them, running around and hollering and screaming and just sleep and snore.
Oh, was he? I'm trying to think of the grenade in the pants thing. I don't know if I ever told this.
Oh my God, she's huge.
God, get up there.
She's growing.
Put the light on her little face there. Let's see, because you just can't make her out. Lift it up. You gotta look in the screen. You can't. There's no center. There you go. There you go.
Well, she's a little bit sleepy.
Oh, she's very tired.
She's a little sleepy.
She's having a great time. She loved that turkey too, because everybody's out there. Whenever we clean ducks or geese, she ran around here with that turkey wing in her mouth and just chewed, ate, and that was the bit with the boy out there. Didn't want to give it all away. What is that? What is that on the ground? Well, that was that turkey's breast after we cleaned that. She chewed on that, chewed on it, eating the raw meat. We cooked all the gizzard.
Oh, you disturbed her.
Oh,
She's back in her bed.
oh my. Oh, she's a good girl. Now,
We got your blue lights too. We got your blue light hanging up right there, Terry. It works pretty good. It's starting to really get windy out here. I hope we don't get it too bad, and I hope none of you all get it very bad either. The we had a windstorm come through here a couple of nights ago, and I've got the most beautiful tree out this office window. It just covered in white blooms. It looks like a dogwood, but it's not. And we lost a huge limb on that thing, and just got that cleaned up yesterday. So I'm hoping that we're not going to lose any more. Don't want to mess. Don't have anybody to help.
I'm trying to figure out what Elf is talking about there. I can only imagine.
We're talking about
Business.
a prostate.
I'm fine. There's the peacocks everybody's raising all around here. So, kept a red light in the window. Kept a red light in the window. Guys, I don't know.
She likes
She's got the
necklace.
beads. Self-abuse. Okay. I was kind of going there.
Oh, you're supposed to get 40 there. Yep, that's what I heard. That's the reason Fallon wanted to go back, Terry, is she was afraid that I guess they had left their big rocking chair. Oh, God. Their rocking chairs on their porch and stuff, and they were afraid that that big hurricane was going to come and get them.
Oh, she loves Mom. I get up before Diane does and takes them outside.
Get off of there.
And let her have a good dump around town. And then as soon as she hears Diane's voice, it's game on. She comes lobbing just like Warrior does. They just love her in the morning. It's like everybody's up in the house. Now we all can start our day. But she's humping big. She's getting her running legs on. She's not as clumsy as she was.
And as soon as she's old enough, we'll get her to the vet and get her fixed. But I do look at her, and I look at Warrior, and I'm like, oh my God, wouldn't they make some beautiful puppies? But we're not going to do that. We're not going there.
Well, we just saw the Elvira.
Oh yeah, I'm out of the thing. I just saw it's called Cedar Hill Labs, and they raised the most beautiful English labs around. And they just had this beautiful black lab up there, and they named her Elvira. And her head, she's got a big block head, one of the most beautiful dogs I've ever seen. I think she wants that,
Yeah,
Daddy.
she's crying at the
All
door.
right, let me go. Come on, here we go.
Crying at the door.
Come on, let's go.
She's kicking. She's kicking. She's getting big fast, that's right. And she'll just cry at the door and want to go out, so we're working. Here they all come. Here they all come.
Guys, let's everybody go pee-pee. Come on.
So we're kicking. We're ramping up our training here a little bit. It would seem like there's just not much going on, but everything goes on here. Everything. Between the video website and the busting the phonies and the farming, there's just not enough hours in the day here. It's like I'm not missing anything by not going anywhere. There's not enough hours in the day to do that, and we really got to ramp up our training. But she likes chasing ducks and she likes chasing peacocks, and that's the only thing those peacocks are afraid of is her. So yeah, and the cats. That mama cat. You can hear it. She'll get after that mama cat, and that cat will just stand her ground, and you can hear that. That cat swats that dog right in the face.
Gosh.
Yeah. She doesn't do the claws for some reason to really try to hurt it, but she will swat it.
We are not going to do a prostate reduction video. We are not going to do that. Tell me we're not going to do that.
No, I can do that.
Oh, God.
I can do that.
No, let's just do a hemorrhoid one while we're at it.
I'll tell you what commercials annoy me. The feminine hygiene ones really bother me. The enlarged prostate ones really bother me. But there is nothing worse than J.G. Wentworth. Nothing. If I hear those people singing on that bus again with those big Viking hats on,
Oh,
Need
Lord.
cash now. Call J.G. Wentworth. And it's just like never stops. And then you have to look at that. It's like mypillow.com. My Pillow.
Hey, I tell you right now, I
You
used to
can't.
make fun of him, but he is making the shit out of that stuff for everybody now. I'm impressed with the My Pillow dude.
Well, when you run those commercials all the time, like J.G. Wentworth, you've got to be looking at it like he's got to be making a lot of money doing that. It's your cash. Use it when you need it. And he does. And the people are giving it to him. He's a smart guy. And the My Pillow dude, he'd have never gone anywhere if he hadn't wore that crucifix outside, because, you know, he would never lie to you because he wears a crucifix. And so, you know, he's doing really well for himself. And you got to watch the commercials that keep coming up. Mighty Bite Lures and shit like that. The infomercials.
The Dawn and Diane doing the erectile dysfunction commercial. Do you know how guilty I felt about that? For that poor guy. I mean, I did sort of feel guilty, but then I thought, who in the hell would get up there and make that video? But
Well, he lied to the doctors. I mean, that's what he did. And
but
then
we
they put
shouldn't
him
have.
on
We
the
shouldn't
spot.
have done that.
They put him on the spot, and then he started backtracking, like, I renewed my contract in the Navy to get a shot at, you know, all this stuff. Okay, well, you dropped the seal bomb, dude. But the doctor wrote me over that video. I think I told everybody on here. He wrote me, and he was not happy. He goes, there's a lot of guys out there that really need my help. And I was like, well, you fucking need to remove the video. You shouldn't be posting shit up there like that. No, he was not happy about the erectile dysfunction video. So
You're not cussing in front of the chaplain, are you?
who's that? Is Jim on there?
We're so sorry. We're so sorry, chaplain. We got dirt mouths. Oh, God.
Well, we had to see what the chaplain did for Easter today. On
But
that
you
big
wouldn't
Air Force
believe.
base. I don't think he had big congregation. There it is right there. The colonel, what kind of a congregation he was putting out. I don't know what he would do in the Air Force like that. That'd be streaming something, but I don't think the Air Force would go for that.
Just so you'll know, Chaplain, Greg, a friend of his, passed away, and he had inherited a bunch of stuff, and I've got a bottle of scotch that big in its own holder with your name on it. So the next time you come down here, you don't need to bring scotch. We got plenty for you. Yep. I'm going to go shut this door before the wind gets it and rips it off.
Oh yeah, we just did that with the colonel. The colonel lost his father. His father was an Army vet in the 50s, and his father just died. And the good colonel asked me if I could help him with the records, and yeah, we could do that. So I was honored to do my own little ceremony out here for my own father. But when you're a Catholic chaplain and you're doing your own father's funeral, I think that's pretty cool stuff. So, yeah, good for you.
And the people at the Record Center that have been so amazing to us. It's just a little kindness. You know, just showing respect to people and just being kind. Don's so good to the ladies down there, and they just appreciate it so much. And so whenever he calls, they come running, and it's so appreciated. And they know that we appreciate them. They're doing a good job.
It was very cool. What she also sent, because I asked for it, she sent a letter written from Colonel Jim's father to the Naval Personnel Records Center a long time ago from Hong Kong, wanting his records and his honorable discharge, that something was amiss. And they included that in there, signed by his father. So that was cool. We really thought his father's records were destroyed in the fire down there, but it turns out they can go through all kinds of shit and they can pull something together. So that was pretty cool. Glad to help.
I'm going to go and shut this screen door that I've got propped open for the dogs before that wind. Don just fixed it. We have terrible winds here because we're on the water, and that thing just got knocked off, so I'm going to go and do it. Thank you guys for signing in with us, and happy Easter.
What are you making for supper?
You made spaghetti for us
God,
tonight.
it's terrible.
Well,
I'll tell you what, don't ever use Hunt's tomato sauce.
it wasn't Hunt's tomato sauce. It was Hunt's in a can spaghetti sauce.
Same shit.
No, it isn't.
Well,
But that is in our virus pile out there on those shelves. You know, that's just in case of an emergency, and we're out of everything, so that's what we used. Yep, Lily, The Walking Dead tonight, and I think she might find Rick. So I can't wait to watch it. I hope she finds Rick.
well, maybe we can split a can of Vienna sausages. There's enough of them out there.
They look like little baby wieners. They do. They're terrible. All right, I'm getting the door.
All right, find my pup. Okay, folks, happy Easter. I hope these storms don't get anybody too awful bad. It'd just be so tough out there now with this virus thing to lose your home. Ain't nobody gonna be building that thing back. Hi, buddy. Hi, Cody, buddy. Hi. He's very excited. Very excited. You're high strung. You've got a lot of energy.
Let's go.
And there's the girl. Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, happy birthday to your granddaughter, Karen. Good night, everybody. Happy Easter. God damn. Quit playing with those guns, Diane.